All right, let's check this one out.
Someone explained this to me. They always say guys are really bad at planning and organizing. When it comes to fantasy football, when it comes to a boys' trip, the boys never disappoint. I just want to understand how the men are always able to execute on boys' trips. I was doing some research being like, oh, as you get older, it's harder to plan group trips. But for the men, it's not. It doesn't matter if you're married, you have a girlfriend, you got a wife, you got kids. The boys always somehow are able to pull it together and successfully execute on a boys' trip. I'm honestly envious of it. Like, these are multiple examples of different guy groups that I know of. This is one of my friends, and they all dressed up in sweat sets to go to a birthday at Olive Garden. Why is that girls are so much harder to coordinate these things as we go older? And why are also men pretending like they can't plan anything? They can. Because I see it in real life. When I'm trying to plan a trip with my girls, especially if they don't know everyone, it's so hard. But men, they don't care. I know these boys are in different friend groups. I know that they all live in different places in the world. Some of them know each other very well, some of them don't, and yet they're all in the same place. So please explain yourself, men. How are you guys planning boys' trips and women can't as we get older? Like, what are we doing wrong? And why are y'all pretending you guys aren't organized? Because you guys are. I see it. Someone explain this to me.
Here's the thing, right? When it comes to men, honestly, it's easier to get along with each other. It's easier, like, you're not fighting over things, right? You're not fighting with it. It's like, it's very simplistic. And a lot of times, it's go with the flow, right? It's like, let's go to this trip, boom. Whatever happens, happens. It's like, it's not as so detailed of a plan, right? And people are not fighting over, like, oh, we should do that. It's like, there's not a lot of infighting when it comes to if a man is planning trips with his boys. There's not a lot of infighting. It's like we agree on things. It's very straightforward, very blunt. Here's the thing. Let's say an example where I don't know how it is when women are planning things with other women, but let's say when he's planning things with his women. A lot of times, women will fight on. A lot of modern women, they fight things when it comes to men planning, men's decision, right? So a lot of times, men don't even bother. Okay, the man that's not even planning things with you in a relationship is that he's tired of the fights. He's tired of being questioned on his decisions, right? He is tired of how he decides things to go. You question it, so that's why he doesn't want to deal with it. That's why a lot of women don't understand that. Honestly, they are the result of why men are do how they are, right? When men plan something, it's very simplistic. It's very straightforward. It's not as complicated, or there's not a lot of arguing to it. There's not a lot of like insanity when it comes along with it. Honestly, when women comes, it's like you have to deal with what she thinks. You have to deal with how she wants it. It's like it gets tiring. It gets chaotic. It gets really combative. So maybe I'm assuming that when women plan things with other women, they're all very individualistic. They're all very combative. They're all like it's their way or the highway kind of shit. So maybe they're infighting. Maybe they're like, oh, I can't plan it with you because you want it this way. I can't plan with you. It's like maybe that's probably why. I think it's like a lot of times it helps men with what, it's very straightforward. And a lot of times men can it's like okay fine. We do this. I'm going with it. Like there a lot of times men can go with the flow with a lot of things, right? So if like one man like one guy planning things. He's like, cool. I'll go with the flow. I'm fine with it. I'm cool with how it. I don't need to, be a backseat driver, right? I don't need to tell you how to do things. I don't need to, question your decision, unless it's like crazy. But in general, usually not. So a lot of times men are not questioning other men. They usually just go with the flow. Okay, but I think it's different when it comes to women. Usually, maybe women are very chaotic. They make things an issue. So that's what I think. I don't know. You guys tell me. I just thought it was interesting where the two perspective that she sees that men are planning things easily or whatever, and how when it comes to a relationship, men aren't planning. It's like this is the thing where a lot of women don't see that. Honestly, it's how you go about things. Men will, because when men are dealing with other men, they see how the men in the group interact, how they react, how they think, how they say, and they do that within relationships as well. Because a lot of times women will be chaotic, they will be hard to deal with, combative, they will be bossy, right? They will be control freaks. So that's why a lot of times men won't plan it. Men will take a backseat. Because again, he doesn't need to battle with you. He doesn't want to battle with you. Because I've been there, I've done that, right? With my ex, it's like she's telling me, why are you not helping? Why are you not chipping in? Because I know how you are, right? I know it's either I'm doing it wrong, I'm not doing how you want it, I'm not doing when you want it. I'm not. It's like you're gonna do it your way anyway. So really, why would I do it, right? Why would I do whatever task when at the end it's like you will criticize me, you will put me down on doing it, and I'm not doing it how you want, and then you say you're just gonna do it your own way anyway. So really, might as well like you know what, skip the hassle and you just do it. And I think that's a lot. That is very uh a thing in a lot of relationships where men are feeling it, right? Where a lot of women are control freaks, in my opinion. They're very controlling in relationships. So, you know, that's how I see it. But I don't know. What do you guys think?